Hey guys, it is December 18th and time for another Gary's Good News Only. This will probably be the last one for this calendar year. I thought about just finishing it all together, but I got so many wonderful emails from people telling me how much they enjoy these. And an agent this week even reached out and said she shares them across the country with all of her family and friends. So I'm glad that y'all are doing that. So I'll keep doing them for the time being. We'll be back the week of January 7th and send some new ones out then. But next week's Christmas and the week after that's New Year. So we're going to take 2 weeks off from doing them. So today's Good News Only is all about the COVID virus. A lot of great things that you probably aren't hearing from the doom and gloom media. First of all, as you probably did hear, though, is that the vaccine's out. And it's great news. The first vaccine was delivered in New York City to a frontline nurse, and everything went great. They're expecting to have almost 100 million vaccine doses by, I think it was February. They're going to have them all out. Moderna just came out yesterday. I think it was. The FDA is looking and should have that one approved for distribution as well. So they're expecting to get these vast amounts of the vaccines out. If you're trying to ship presents for Christmas, you're probably going to be delayed. Federal Express is telling us even on closing packages that they're taking more than overnight because they're using that space to get the vaccine out, which is fine. That's what we need. We need the vaccine to get out so we can get through this COVID virus. In South Carolina, we had our first doses this week as well to frontline workers. And so they're expecting to have between 200 and 300,000 doses in South Carolina by the end of the year. So for those of you who are waiting for the vaccine, it looks like here in just the next few weeks, we should be in a position, maybe next few weeks, we should be in a position for a lot more people to get it. Now, there's another study that I thought was outstanding, and this was actually a compilation of studies. This was a study by JAMA, J-M-A-A, Journal of American Medical Association or something like that. Anyway, JAMA is a very well-known medical publication, and they took 54 studies and combine them together and look at the overall results of these 54 studies. Now, the studies resulted from 77,758 participants involved in these studies. And what they found out was the number one source of transmission is household transmission. Basically, somebody in your house gets it and they give it to you. They also found out that restaurants were only 1.43% of all transmissions and schools were only 1.5%. So basically, there was very minimal chance of getting the transmission in a restaurant or in a school. It was all basically at home, which is funny because we're locking down people in our homes, which is probably the most dangerous place to lock them down because that's where the spread actually happens. Now, what they found out was that in the household transmission, symptomatic people transmitted 18% of the time to other people. So even if you're in the house with somebody who has it, there's only 18% chance you're going to get it from them. It's not a guarantee. I think that's one of the things that's been overstated is that if you come in contact with somebody with COVID, then you're going to get it. No, symptomatic people only transmit it 18% of the time in households, which is a day in, day out or interaction with people. That's not a passing in the hall kind of interaction. So if only 18% of the time you're getting from symptomatic people, that's pretty darn good. That doesn't mean we're always going to get it when you pass somebody. Asymptomatic transmission in the households was only 0.7%. 0.7%. So if somebody in your house has it, but they're asymptomatic, less than 1% of the time you're going to get it. So think of that. If you're living with somebody and you're only getting it 0.7% of the time if they're asymptomatic, if somebody in the public walks by you, stands by you in the grocery store, whatever, they're transmitting it only 0.7% of the time when they're living with somebody. The chances of you getting it are almost minimal. I mean, it's minuscule. I mean, you're not getting it from asymptomatic people. The second fact the study said was the death rate of those under 70 is 0.5%. Thus, the chances of you dying from an infection from somebody who is asymptomatic, giving it to you, and you getting it and dying, 0.00035%. So asymptomatic people aren't going to kill you, despite what the media has you to believe. In fact, to put it another way, it's 1 out of every 285,714 is a chance of you getting it from an asymptomatic person and dying. The flu is much greater than that. Lastly, as I told you, always look at the money. Testing, we are now up to $254 million a day being spent on testing, which equates to 7.6 billion with a B a month, 91.4 billion with a B a year. You wonder why they want to keep testing you? There's 91 billion reasons right there they are. So anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. We greatly appreciate everything that you have done for Blair Cato this year, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year.